Hi guys, it's Gina. I'm back today and we are going to do a food pantry, primarily food pantry, almost exclusively food pantry, beef stew. Now, y'all have seen me get the canned beef, which is right here. I've gotten that at the food pantry the past couple of months. They do give you quite a few cans actually. So I've got several, and so we're going to use that beef and we are going to make some beef stew out of this today. Now, I'm also going to show y'all some things that you can use if you don't have everything that I have today. And yeah, I take and put all the stuff in there. I know that it's got a little fat in there, but I want the flavor and stuff in my soup. So, y'all also see me get canned vegetables. I've got some peas. And this is all what you would get. They're all primarily generics. Every now and again you'll get name brand, but not as often as the generics. Some corn. Just adding like the whole can in these, y'all, so that the vegetables will help bulk this out and make it more filling. Some diced tomatoes. We get these quite often, that exact brand. They're good. They taste really good, actually. I use it quite often. Also, green beans. These did come from a food pantry. They're Del Monte. And so, I'm just showing y'all, sometimes you do get name brand items. We also have out some carrots. And I do add the juice because it adds the nutrients in there from the vegetables. Also in this bowl I have some potatoes, some onions, and celery. The potatoes came from the food pantry. Y'all saw me get some potatoes back at the holidays. And I got some on the week of the 8th, whatever that Monday was. So, those are going to go in as well. I just kind of sliced up the onions. I didn't sit there and finely chop them or anything. My husband is not a big fan of onions like I am, or as big of a fan of them as I am. So this way he can kind of take out the onions if he does not want them. Also, I am going to put in a little bit of garlic, because garlic is good for you and all that stuff. I don't know how much I put, but that's one of my bigger spoons. So, some of y'all might say, well, Gina, I don't have everything you've got out here. I don't have those fresh potatoes. I don't have fresh carrots or canned carrots or green beans or corn. Y'all might not have a certain ingredient. If you don't have corn, do you have like a bag of hominy? This is Goya hominy. You can use that in there. It's good. It's dried, and I'm going to make that in the next day or two. I like hominy. My whole family likes it. You say, well, I don't have potatoes, fresh potatoes. Do you have a can of potatoes? Well, you say I don't have the canned potatoes either. Do you have potato flakes to make mashed potatoes? You can put those in there. Well, I don't have any of that. Do you have frozen hash browns? Do you have hash browns or cubed potatoes in your freezer that you could put in there? Don't have potatoes of any variety? How about some yellow split peas? Or a bag of beans of some sort? You could put those in there. How about some long grain white rice? Do you have those? You could throw this in there. If you don't have any of those, do you have some spaghetti noodles? Do you have a box of mac and cheese? The food pantry gives out these all the time. And the other day I thought I had 2 chicken ramen. One of them was beef. Do you have one of these? This will go in beef stew just fine. And you can actually use the flavoring in there to put in your beef stew. Also, I am going to put in some bay leaves. and just some salt and pepper. Y'all know I use salt and pepper all the time. But these are the ideas of things that you can actually use to make a soup, make a stew, get things going so that you've got a meal on the table at dinner time. You can put this in your slow cooker in the morning before you head out to work. You could put it in your Instapot. I don't know about air fryers if that would work, but you could. I know you could put it in a Instant Pot, because those have a slow cooker setting, and you can also put it in your crock pot, because either one of those would work just fine. But as well as the stovetop, you could even put it in. Now I can't put this in the oven. This has got handles that are plastic; they would melt. So if y'all have pots that have these plastic covered handles, please don't put those in your oven. They will melt. For those of you that are new to cooking. But if you have one with just the metal handles, you can even pop this bad boy in your oven at about 200, 250 if you got several hours to go. Keep it in there. This is all pre-cooked except the potatoes, the celery, and the onions. Put it on the stovetop, get it done, and then pop it in your oven real low to keep it warm. Also, another idea to put in with this, these come from the food pantry quite often too, Jiffy cornmeal mix. Make a pan of cornbread. You saw me get some eggs the other day that were fresh. You also saw me the week before that get some frozen eggs. Those will work in here as well. Today I'm going to be using some of that box milk from the food pantry because that's all I've got right now is box milk or powdered milk. So those are what's going to be going in this. This is going with this pot of soup tonight for dinner. But anyway, I'm giving y'all some ideas of how you can make a really filling soup with just what you have. You do not have to have fresh meat to make a good meal, y'all. You really don't. Everybody thinks, well, I have to have fresh beef stew meat to make a pot of beef stew. No, you don't. No, you don't. You can use this canned. It works just as well. I use the canned pork, the canned chicken, the canned beef all the time to make soup, stews. Whatever you got, you know, is what you use. You have to start learning to think outside the box, especially if you're a new cook and you're just learning. That's why I'm doing this whole thing to show you how you use these items to make something that your family will eat. And if you got picky kids that don't like vegetables, put them in something like this real tiny. They'll eat it. All right, talk to y'all later. Have a good day. God bless. If you haven't already, click like, subscribe, and leave a